What's up, aces of all ages? Dancing Joker here, and today I'm bringing you our Season 3 of the GCL Week 1 team building video. This week we are going to be fighting Wormpal, the leader of the Stavanger Softboilers this season. And you can see his team on the side. He has Landers Therian, Mega Alakazam, Manaphy, Infernape, Scizor, Celebi, Gudra, Umbreon, Linoone, Rotom, and Golbat. A lot of Pokemon that he took were Pokemon that I were considering for my team last season. And some that I actually took, like Celebi and Gudra. I was also debating Infernape and and Umbreon as well. That's what the other one. But we have our team here, so I'm going to go through it and I'm going to explain it. The first Pokemon we have is Athena Ferris, our Magearna, holding the Farium Z. With the ability Soul Heart, as always, with the moves Flare Cannon, Ice Beam, Volt Switch, and Trick Room. Next up is Alex Tanner, our Rotom Heat, with leftovers and the ability Levitate, with the moves Volt Switch, Will-O-Wisp, Overheat, and Defog. Next up is Scarlet May, our Latias, holding leftovers with the ability Levitate. The moves Ice Beam, Draco Meteor, Recover, and Psychic. Next up is Harley Jade, our Mega Tyranitar, with Sandstream, with the moves Stealth Rock, Pursuit, Ice Punch, and Power Up Punch. Next up is Larkin the Amoonguss, holding Black Sludge with the ability Regenerator, with the moves Toxic, Synthesis. Let me say that again. Toxic, Synthesis, Giga Drain, Clear Smog. God. And last but not least is Danny Rivers, our Slowbro, holding the Assault Vest with the ability Regenerator, with the moves Scald, Ice Beam, Shadow Ball, and Psyshock. Now, let's go over the team one by one. First off is Athena Ferris. You'll notice that Athena Ferris has Trick Room, also minimum speed, minus speed nature, with 0 IVs, mainly just in case like he switches in something that's really fast and I have a turn to set up a free Trick Room. A good example of this is if he has Landorus. I send this in against, let's say, his Umbreon. His Umbreon can't really do much and gets obliterated by Farium Z Flare Cannon. So he switches out into, let's say, Landorus. I use Trick Room, and then I Ice Beam it next turn. I also have the Farium Z Flare Cannon just because it's a strong hit. I can OHKO nearly everything on his team. And then I go to +1 with Soul Heart. And then I use Flare Cannon again, go -2, so I'm at -1. And then I get Soul Heart boost for +1. Volt Switch is just for pivoting options. Like, the only bad thing would be if Landorus switches in which case I have 2 Levitating Mons, which can help with that. The first one being Alex Tanner, the Rotom Heat. I have Volt Switch once again for pivoting, Will-O-Wisp just to burn and lower attack. I also made it really physically bulky because this is my physical tank. Landorus T. Wormpal has the Flyinium Z, which you can see in the bottom right. Flyinium Z, Landorus T with Z Fly is horrifyingly powerful. So I have this thing here to take a Supersonic Sky Strike, burn it afterwards, and then I didn't put Paint Split on this thing because I wasn't sure how to go about doing that, which move I would get rid of, because Volt Switch is just good for pivoting options. Will-O-Wisp burns, Overheat, because he has 2 Pokemon that are weak to fire, being his Scizor and his Celebi. And Defog, because he has 3 Pokemon that can set up rocks. I feel like if anything's going to have rocks, it's going to be his Landorus. Although his Infernape and Celebi can both learn Stealth Rock. But I also have Scarlet May here, who is our... Mainly, she's our fast, hard-hitting Pokemon. You can see it's got max speed, timid. It's got Ice Beam, Draco Meteor, Recover, and Psychic. Draco Meteor can two-shot Gudra, even if it is Assault Vest. Unless he's like running max HP, max special defense, Assault Vest, Gudra, it's a very small chance that he is going to be knocked out by 2 Dracos. Even then, I have Recover in case he does hit me with, let's say, Outrage, even though Outrage will probably kill. I also have Ice Beam just, again, for Landorus T. It's still not my best bet because it can still U-turn. I also gave it Psychic because it's good against the Golbat and the Infernape. This thing essentially just walls Infernape. There's very little Infernape can do against this thing. I don't even think Infernape gets Ice Punch, so there's that. Next up is Harley Jade, our Mega Tyranitar. This thing is a little bit strange, and my dog is barking. Alright, so I think that's taken care of. Harley Jade here has Stealth Rock just because it's my Stealth Rocker. I was really debating going between this or my Gliscor. I decided this in the end, even though he has a lot of Pokemon that can hit it. The main problem is a lot of things can hit Mega T-Tar. But I do have it at 0 IVs of speed and a minus speed nature, just so I can take advantage of that Trick Room. It is unfortunate that some Pokemon like Scizor are going to be outspeeding me. That's perfectly fine. I don't mind it too much because I'm not going to leave this thing in on Scizor. There's nothing it can do. But I gave it Stealth Rock, even though he has like 5 Defoggers. I gave it Pursuit in case, like, just for a generic Dark-type move that's good for switching in. If he U-turns me, then I can Pursuit him afterwards. It doesn't really hit much. It hits the Rotom, the Alakazam, and Celebi. Alakazam can get Focus Blast, so that's a bit of a problem. And Celebi is a Grass type, so that's also a problem. But I did give it Ice Punch just for the Golbat, the Landorus, the Celebi, Gudra, and Whimsicott. This thing is basically meant to obliterate Gudra. That's the most useful thing it can do. I also gave it Power Up Punch because I was struggling with a certain move I could put on this thing. Just because, like, I can't put, like, Stone Edge or Earthquake because he only has one Pokemon that's weak to each, being the Golbat and the Infernape, respectively. But I debated going with Aerial Ace, but I decided to just use Power Punch because it hits Linoone. Linoone's Extreme Speed or Belly Drum, Stomping Tantrum, Seed Bomb, that's going to hurt a lot, and it's going to hurt whoever I have. So I decided Power Punch brings it a little bit less than half, or a little bit more than half, actually, I think. And that is perfect, because if he Belly Drums, then he dies, or if it's in Trick Room, I hit him, and he can't Belly Drum. That's also partly the reason why I have Chrismog on Larkin Love here. She's basically just a generic set. She's a generic mixed wall. The main reason she's a mixed wall is basically because of her HP being incredibly high. She's also got Regenerator, so if I need a heal, but I can't outspeed, I just swap out and swap her back in, and she's got a third of her health back. I also gave it Giga Drain because why not? It's basically just to hit the Manaphy if this thing stays in, even though it's highly unlikely I'm going to stay in with this thing because it gets Ice Beam and Psychic. But that's why I have Danny Rivers here. Danny Rivers is basically a Regenerator pal with Larkin Love. It's got Assault Vest, So it's also a mixed wall, and debatably a better mixed wall than Larkin Love, even though Larkin Love can heal herself in battle. Danny Rivers has Scald, Ice Beam, Shadow Ball, and Psyshock. Scald hits Landorus. It hits Infernape. That's all it hits. I thought it hit more things. But it's also Stab. Ice Beam hits Landorus, Gudra, Celebi, Whimsicott, and Golbat. Shadow Ball hits Alakazam. It hits Celebi and Rotom. And then Psyshock hits Infernape and Golbat. Yeah, it's basically just got a wide range of moves. I debated putting Signal Beam on this, but I decided Shadow Ball would be better because of the more power and special defense draw. Mainly because I want this thing to be my check to Alakazam. It's a bit of a check. It doesn't take too much from Psyshock or Shadow Ball, and this thing can two-shot Mega Alakazam with Shadow Ball from the calcs that I've done. I don't know if they're going to be the exact sets that Wormpal is running, but that is the team. And all we can do is hope that our strategies go well. But anyway, that's going to be it for this video. If you guys enjoyed, don't forget to hit that thumbs up like button down below. And as always, I'll catch you later.